we have a very extensive and a very well-established rating system where we do 5 stars on 5 different points.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first one, the first rating that we always do is in. I'm sorry, I need to get my thing. Um, somebody bail me out here.
Visuals.
Visuals, thank you. All
Yeah.
right. So how are we gonna rate visuals? 1 through 5, Superman 2025.
I'm gonna give it a 5. It was visually appealing, even if there were some marks that were not good in visual wise, but I still think it was a visually appealing and fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I think of the visuals, I'm also for visuals because I don't think we touched that much on it. But I also put a soundtrack along with that because I think the soundtrack along with the visuals work very well.
Yeah, because art design,
See,
it's all
I'm
kind
putting
of.
soundtrack actually in the X Factor category.
Oh, okay.
But we'll talk about the soundtrack. We'll talk about the soundtrack in the X Factor.
Oh yeah, okay. But yeah, I got, or at least off of one viewing of it, in the theater, I gave the visuals a 5. I didn't really have any fault to that. I think everything from this. I think the CGI was super solid. I think there was a lot of clean shots, like when Lex Luthor's, what do they call it, talons or
Mhm.
vultures,
Raptors.
raptors, yes, were surrounding him, and he did that spitting move and into the clean Superman S on the screen, bruh.
Yeah.
James cooked with that.
And the details that were put into the visuals to make you know that actually Superman is so concerned with preserving life, even of his enemies, right? Because even in that scene with the Raptors, right when he's lasering them, that could be interpreted, oh, he's just killing those guys. He's not, because you can see them fall, but you look and they're moving on the ground, and he's only sliced like certain parts of the armor to disable it, but he's not like he's actively choosing to like target people, even like when it seems like he's just doing like a wild attack. Um, and like I mean the pocket, we didn't even talk about the pocket universe. We didn't even talk about
Yeah,
the pocket universe. I mean,
universe.
pocket universe, man. Pocket
That's,
universe is crazy, man.
it's
That
actually crazy.
pocket universe is crazy.
Actually,
The anti proton river and the black hole, and like all that stuff, and him like fighting the black hole and like coming back to try to like protect the baby Joey and like crypto. And I mean, it's great. I can't think of one thing that looked off, right? Which you might say, oh, what's that like? But like nowadays, that's actually there's a lot of movies you look and go, ooh, at a visual effect. But yeah, it looked great. It has really good art direction.
Yeah.
So
I love how bright it looks, and how colorful the city of Metropolis is.
so it's a 5 for me.
all right. No one else is gonna critique. I'll critique. No, I'm playing.
Hey, go off.
Go off, man.
Get
Tell
down to
them.
brass tacks, boys. No,
Let them know it's a 3.
let them know. Nah, I mean, like, so there's a few scenes that I think would have been challenging, artistically.
Mhm.
I think the scene with the monster, where it had a lot of CGI, would have been a bit challenging. I think the scene where he's getting nanobites, like in his mouth and through his nose, was a very challenging art scene. I think some of the flight sequences were a bit challenging. And I would say that despite those, and yes, the pocket dimension for sure. The pocket dimension for sure. The river with all the pixels and all the things, like the movement, things disintegrating. Like, let's call a spade a spade. CGI sometimes is not as good as it should be. It's just not as good as it should be. But I can tell that, for lack of a better phrase, no expense was spared to really make this film look as good as it did. Even things that were extremely small. I saw it in IMAX. If you haven't seen it in IMAX, you haven't seen the movie. Go see it in IMAX. The reason I say to go see it in IMAX is because IMAX is going to scale that up for you to see some of those smaller details a lot more clearly. The intricacies in those scenes were absolutely phenomenal. The fact that Superman's eyes turn red when he uses laser vision from the soreness, or like just like so many like small nuances that were just really smart. Everything was nailed. Bravo, James Gunn. Art design was on point.
All right. What's the number?
5.
5. All right. Okay, so next up is what? Characters?
Yeah.
All right. So actually now we get a chance to talk about the characters we missed in our first initial discussion, right? Because there's a lot of characters left, and they're great. They're all incredible. Just to go over some, I'm gonna break it into like a few categories. We have Daily Planet Squad, right? Justice Gang, which you talked about. We have Lex Luthor and his minions, right? And yeah, those are like the main. I would say the main three. Of course, like Superman himself, like Lois and the Kents. And I think they all deliver. Like every single one delivers. And there's also like
Absolutely.
even little scenes of the civilians and whatnot. I want to talk about one person in particular actually, and that's Molly, who is a falafel vendor, and
Yes.
he when Superman goes down, right, and fighting I think the Hammer of Baravia, which is actually Ultraman, but he goes down, Molly's there and helps him out of the rubble. Right? Just because like he loves Superman, he knows what he stands for, and you can tell that bond that Superman has formed with people in Metropolis. So what's very tragic is when Lex Luthor kidnaps Molly and goes to basically put him with a Russian roulette situation where he's trying to get information from Superman, and he ends up shooting Molly. It's very tragic. It's very tragic. And Molly, even that little bit of characterization, right? Molly's last things is him saying, like, Superman, don't tell him anything. Don't tell him I don't have family, Superman. Don't tell him anything. Which I don't know if that's true, right? If he doesn't have family or not. But he believed in Superman. He understood what Superman represented. And Superman had inspired him to be willing to put his life on line, right? Which ultimately he lost. And that moment, it's a very very like small like detail. I guess it's on screen for a few seconds, but you can miss it. But at the very end, when the robots, which another great character, is like all the little robot guys that are in the
Oh yeah.
Fortress Solitude. I don't know where they come from. I don't know Superman. I don't know, but they're there. But he's reading a newspaper. Then on the front page story was written by Clark Kent, and it's about Molly and what a great guy he was and his sacrifice. And I think just that it shows so much for that one small character. Shows so much about Metropolis, Superman, Clark Kent, right? Like all these factors wrapped up in just this very very small performance. A guy who's only on screen for a couple minutes, and is like a tertiary like side character. And yeah, that's just I think my takeaway. An example of like the characters in this film were really great. So it's like a 5 for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I also agree with that. I think the characters, like, I can't really even think of like a weak or a character that I'm like, they could have done a bit more. I think they probably could have done a bit more with hawkgirl, I would say. But even then, like, hawkgirl still like the fact like when she's carrying the Baravian president, and he's just like, oh yeah, Superman doesn't kill. He's like, I ain't Superman. What are you
It
talking about?
dawns on her. She's like, "Wait a minute. You think I have his moral code?"
Like
Sorry,
that.
sir.
Like that's great. That's great.
That was phenomenal.
I love that.
Yeah.
Girl dropped him. She dropped him from that high up.
Yeah, he's like, yo, Superman like, ran you up against a cactus, bro. You don't know what she about to do, bro. But yeah, no, I
He
really
warned
like.
her. He warned him. He warned him. Superman
Yeah,
warned him.
truly, like Superman gave him an easy out, and he couldn't take it. uh, but no, I really like the performances of like everyone. If I had to like say like bring up like an underrated performance, I think the whole the Kents, especially his dad's speech to Superman, where like the world's against him. But he's just like, hey, no matter what people think, you just remember that you're you. You know what I mean? You could keep doing good. Despite what that. Oh, we didn't even touch upon the recording. The recording is
Yes,
wild.
We
it's
did
very
The recording
important.
not
is
touch
wild.
upon the.
There's a
That's a
twist.
big.
Yeah, I would say yeah. There's a big twist in the lore of Superman. Like, and I think a lot of it hinges on the fact that like Superman, the movie like kind of opens after because we get this opening with the explaining some of the world, some of the details, the fact that metahumans have been around for a while, Superman's been around for 3 years, and he's trying to heal in the Fortress of Solitude. Um, and they put on a recording. The robots put on a recording because it soothes them of his parents, and they do the like oh we love you more than heaven itself. We sent you to Earth. You'll be strong, right? You can be hope, right? But after that, the recording is like disrupted. You don't know what they're going to say,
Damage the
right?
recording.
So when Lex Luthor and engineers show up in Fortress of Solitude and they hack into it, right, they're able to get the rest of the recording. It turns out the rest of the recording was Jor-El wilding out and going on his Andrew Tate uh, spiel about how Superman's a high value male. So he should have a he should have a harem of women to carry on the Kryptonian legacy.
Get them all, black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It don't even matter,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Let's look up the numbers.
It turns out the rest of the recording was like, "My son, you must stack paper and get women. My son, don't let the haters pocket watch. Only you can bring back the swag that was Krypton, my child."
You told them
There's
to dominate humanity, like
just take over,
crazy.
Right? Yeah, no, it's wild.
Which is a wild second half based on what the first half said. It was almost like oh, make them love you, and then break them. I'm like you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. It was like make him love you, but if that doesn't work, I mean, if that doesn't work, I mean, you got other options.
There's plan B.
Just saying, Kyle, who's gonna stop you?
Yeah.
Who's gonna stop you? That's true. Who's gonna stop you, Cal?
There's no other Kryptonians that can stop this man. He's really with it.
But yeah, no, seeing how even though the Kents like adopted Clark and they're more of his real parents than his actual parents. I thought that was great. So yeah, I gotta give this movie a 5. Every performance was super strong. Again, there could have been probably a couple of characters that could have had a bit more screen time. But even then, their impact on screen was still.
Beto?
Okay, yeah. I think it's been said mostly from everyone here that the characters were great. There was not like the attention was given to every single one of them. I would give it a 5. Each character brought their 8, was well balanced, well taken care of, and they showed exactly who they are. They were not, and they were not in a way. They were evil because they're evil. They had they have their choice on being against or with Superman, and they're not all in a way speaking in HR. So this was a huge difference from a lot of different superhero movies, and it showed who these characters are and who they are in this universe, and it was amazing just to see the whole thing. So each character was great. Specifically, just the Kents, Superman, Lois, Jimmy,
We've not talked about the GOAT,
the
Jimmy
goat,
Olsen.
Yeah,
Jimmy
sir.
Olsen. No matter what anybody thinks, Jimmy Olsen.
He's
The,
living
the
Joel's
un
dream.
Yeah, he is.
But he's
I mean,
topic
if
thinking.
only, if only Jimmy Olsen was their son, they'd have no problems. That'd be the
If
mission.
only Jimmy Olsen.
That's the irony there.
The thing about Jimmy Olsen is, even though he's like the Riz Lord, he doesn't want to be the Riz Lord. He's like burdened by being the Riz Lord, because women would be like, "Wow, Jimmy, he's so hot," and he's just like, "Oh, I mean, I guess."
The curse.
Yeah, I really wish I had that power. It's like, oh yeah, okay.
I mean, the subplot he has with
Not really, no.
Eve.
Don't.
No.
You lost your attraction to the women, but all the women gained all the attraction for you. You'd be like, well, this is not so great. Chip Skylark.
The subplot with Eve is pretty good,
bro.
and
really funny.
Yeah, because you think Eve is like kind of an airhead at the beginning because she's taking selfies and whatnot, but the thing about it is she's actually much smarter than she lets on, because it's because at first she's like because when she wants to get back at Lex and she's trying to help Jimmy out, so she sends him like her message out before she gets captured, which is a bunch of selfies. And you're like, oh my word, what's this? They're just selfies, right? Because she's been taking them all movie, right? She's like, oh, I'm gonna take a selfie. It turns out the selfies were perfectly placed and strategically done. Evidence was in the background of every single one, which is wild. And wild that Lex just did not foresee this. I mean, okay, Lex, I know you're a genius, but like, why are you letting people have cell phones in your evil layers? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing, dog?
Yeah.
That's like, come on.
He thought she was just some dumb, some dumb rod.
I'm just saying, like, Lex, I mean, I've ever seen like The Wire, but that would not fly on any Barksdale crew. Okay, they know no cell phones, no communication. You're not gonna tap in. But yeah, she was like doing strategic selfies of like all this information and reports and whatnot, just so she could like send them to Jimmy. Because I think at some point she's like, actually, yeah, this Lex guy's evil.
It dawned on her.
But I don't want to break up with him because I don't want to be sent to the pocket dimension prison. But yeah, and speaking of the pocket dimension prison, we're also going to quickly talk about some of the Metamorpho.
Yes,
another great character.
Metamorpho was great.
They kept calling him the Element Man, which was annoying.
They did continue to call him the Element Man, to the point where I started calling him, and that's okay, because if you've only seen the movie and you lack other comic book knowledge, sure,
he's the Element Man.
He's the Element Man. Why
not? But it's like his crisis of faith he has. Because Lex is using him and he's holding his like weird green sun hostage, and so he makes kryptonite to keep Superman, restrained. But after Molly dies, and he had their breaking point, and he realizes actually, no, this is good, and like, he's like, well, Superman, could you really save my son? Because he's kind of defeated. He doesn't even want to talk to him because he's like, there's no way, I'm done, it's all bad. But, he believes in Superman. He also is inspired by Superman, believes in Superman. And that bit where he makes a sun, like, he just uses his powers and just makes like a miniature sun. The power of Superman is crazy. And like, his bits are great. Like he's a little nervous, he's a little unsure. But as the thing goes on, he gets more confident, and more heroic.
Yeah. No, Metamorpho is great. I'm shocked that the guy who held his baby across the way didn't see him just slowly.
Yeah, that's negligence of duties. Like, how do you not like? Because the other people in the cells were trying to like yell like, hey, he's doing something, and like what, like the guy's like, what? Wait, what's going on over there? And he's like, he's making a sun. Like, how do you not see? Like, there's some time he's making. Like, he's way too slow on it. He's way too slow on it. Like, one job I don't.
Hey man, he's a grunt in a cage. What do you expect?
Well, what was he? Was he on his cell phone?
Scrolling through
Was
TikTok.
he
That
just
was
there for the whole time?
Was he playing like Candy Crush?
Candy Crush on the Pocket Dimension. He's that good.
Yeah, was he playing Candy Crush and didn't notice a Metamorpho was making a son? I don't know.
Kind
We'll
of
never
warm in
know.
here. What's going on?
Yeah.
Woo.
Turn around a bit.
What's going on here?
Oh man.
All right. So next we have writing and dialogue. Which
Hold
I think
on.
Yeah, you didn't give
it my take.
you've not given your take.
Nor has Beto given a number for characters.
Oh, I thought I did. I said
I
5.
thought he gave 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
You good to go?
all right. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm a villain apologist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something that's important for me is not just that the heroes are written well, but also that the villains are written well. And
Of course.
it's important. It's important, right? The threat has to be serious enough for the story to make sense, right? And I'll be very candid. Lex Luthor and Kingpin are in my top 5 villains of all time. And the reason they're so high is because they're able to calculate so many steps ahead of their opponents, and they're extremely strategic, and they have little to no oversights when they're planning things out, right? And even in a situation where the hero in their stories, whether that be a Spider-Man or Daredevil or Superman in Lex Luthor's case, is able to thwart the upfront plan, most times they have a contingency plan for the contingency plan for the contingency plan. And things end up working in their benefit, regardless of how bad things turn out, right? Lex had no plan B in this movie. And as Superman was beginning to win, it kind of turned into like a snowball. Like things just started to like roll, and then Lex had no plans, no way to stop them. And then the snowball got so big, it literally crushed him at the end, right? Like it was like a series of multiple oversights. He didn't notice his girlfriend taking selfies and thought it was weird where she was taking the selfies at. He didn't set up like blockers in his office to prevent people from communicating out in ways that he didn't want to. There's like a bunch of small little oversights that led to an end result of him losing. And I felt like I was like, there's something about the way that this ended that made Lex feel kind of dumb to an extent. Like he just made a lot of misses in a weird way. For the most part, he played his role very smartly, very intelligently. But those misses for me made it really tough for me. Now he's probably the smartest Lex I've seen in live action. I'll put it that way. The last Lex that we saw in live action was a joke. I would rate that Lex Luthor a 2. The Lex from Superman Returns, not way better. I probably rate him a 3.5. This Lex is probably the closest that I've gotten to animated black man Lex Luthor from the cartoon. Who, when you watch the animated series, whether it be the TV show or the movies, he's good. He's smooth, he's suave, he's intelligent. He only loses his cool in moments where Superman would be the only person to see. But for the most part, he's very in control of his rage and of his emotions, and he ekes them out to craft his plans. This Lex Luthor was a bundle of rage, almost from start to finish. He had very little control of his emotions, and for me as a viewer, I know it's weird rating a Superman movie based on Lex Luthor. I'll be honest, the heroes were written beautifully. Superman, probably the best Superman I've seen in a while. But the Lex Luthor makes me knock it down by 0.5.
Okay.
I have to give characters a 4.5 on this one.
If I could just, I can see what you mean, right? However, for me, right, I feel like the oversights that you brought up, they aren't because I didn't take it as because Lex is dumb or he didn't like account for it. I mean, he didn't. But I think it's more so because his ego is so
He's
high.
too proud.
He's too proud that he wouldn't notice it, or he didn't like put it in a block, because he's so single focused on this one thing, and the one thing is taking down Superman, and he wants to be the guy to bring down Superman. So like I could see why like in his brain, where his ego's like going like over the top, why he would like not notice Eve taking pictures, or
Because
not.
he thinks Eve is too dumb.
Yes. Like he's literally like, yo, these people. Honestly, he thinks everyone is too dumb. He thinks he's like these people. These
He
people
underestimates
will
everyone
never.
in this
Yes.
film.
These
He
people will
does.
never betray me, because like, what would they do? I'm literally Lex Luthor. I'm a billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. Well, not philanthropist. But,
Playboy.
like,
Yo, equating Lex to Tony is a choice. It's a
like,
choice.
like, bro, if I say jump, they ask how high. You know, I'm that big, bro. But so like he wasn't accounting for like anyone to like backstab him. Well, he probably should have, but like I can see why it wouldn't dawn on him to do so.
And I would say even in the Lex Luthor's and the cartoons and stuff, I think his biggest one of his biggest obstacles is like ironically he flies too close to the sun.
Yes.
He'll get himself in some predicaments because he bites off more than he can chew. Because he's like, well, I can pull it off. I mean, I'm so smart. I can pull like when he got merged with like Brainiac or whatever. I think in the Justice League cartoon,
Yeah.
right, where he felt like, oh, I can handle it. He could not handle it. He could not handle it. But like he does that. He does that. Like, he'll do something where he's like, well, I mean, I got it. And I think this is a perfect example because he was pretty collected, for most of the film. Like especially when he walked into the Fortress of Solitude and he was like straight R farming.
Yeah.
Um, and
Early in the
when
film, he was
like
very
early in the
cool.
film,
Yes.
and like even when he kidnapped this dog and Superman bursts into his office and he's like so cool, calm, and collected, and he's goading him on. Um, like all that stuff works. He's pretty. It's just when things are going wrong and he starts like crashing out, like then he starts getting sloppy. Which for me, I understand for you of the perspective, but for me, that is like my favorite part of a well calculated villain is when things go wrong and they start getting mad.
Mm.
I love it. I love it. Eat it up every time, man. What happens to Kingpin? What happens to Lex? Right? What happens to like, um, I guess even like Walt in like Breaking Bad.
Walter White. Yeah.
And when like the calculated smart guy, when things are like not going his way, right? And then they start wigging out. That's like, love it.
I respect that perspective. I think for me, I was very much hoping for a Lex that would get away.
That he knew how to get away with it.
Yeah. Like
If
not get
if
away
things
with it.
fail,
Not get away with it in the sense that like he maintains his empire, but get away in the sense of the law can't touch me. And like I'm gonna walk. Like I'm not even gonna get in the tank or anything as like a show that you caught me. Like I'm gonna circumvent the law in some way, shape, or form. And I know that it's challenging for them to do this because it's supposed to be a film of hope, right? I get all that stuff, right? The bad guy loses, the good guy wins. This is what we wanted to show for the story. Like it's important. It's important that we show this for the story because Lex is funding a nation to wipe out another nation in order to milk that land for resources. Whoa, sick plot, right? Whoa, this guy's doing some real dangerous stuff. He's playing in the politics game. So I understand why they had to wrap the movie that way. I get it. I get it. But I didn't love it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, by the end of the film though, like Lex does so much that like, I mean, it might. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you open a dark hole that nearly destroys the world, and you like it's revealed
held
that
it
you.
hostage, basically.
And the best part is here's the best part. Here's the best part is if this series like goes on, right? He will get out of jail. He will. He will get out of jail and he will have his company back somehow.
And
Which
ideally,
I'm
you're gonna
excited
make
about.
Superman break him out.
Ideally, yes.
that would bring me a measure of solace.
Well, yeah, if it's like the only person who can actually like help with this problem is Lex.
It just so happens to be Lex Luthor. And
Yeah,
it's that
like
he's put it in play 18 years ago. He predicted all of these things happening. Yeah, then I'd be like, all right. But I like what you all have done with this. We'll see what James
All
Gunn
right.
decides to do, though.
So we got your 4.5. Now let's talk about
4.5.
writing and dialogue. I think we've already talked a lot about the writing and dialogue.
Yeah. It's a 5 for me,
extensively.
dude.
Yeah, it's a 5 for me.
Yeah, 5 for me as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is probably some of the best writing I've seen in a
Yeah.
Superman movie
Oh, yeah.
ever in my life, bro.
Yeah. There's so many good
should I say?
speeches.
No, I can't say DC movie. Can't say that. I don't know if I can put it above The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's
Really.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
they're very different. They're very different.
Yeah.
I can't. It's hard comparison.
It's hard, bro. The writing in The Dark Knight, the script was very smart.
I think at this point you
Christopher
compare like,
Nolan is just
movie to comic book movie. We're at that point.
Yeah.
Because I think Superman is a much better comic book movie, but
Mhm.
you could argue The Dark Knight could be a better movie. I'm gonna say argue because I need to do a second like assessment to really
yeah.
you know,
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
1-to-1.
I'm still on Superman.
Because like when we're talking about villains, I mean Heath Ledger's Joker is still like
Bro.
immaculate.
Immaculate, bro.
Yeah.
It's a performance that can't be.
I don't know if it's ever going to be topped. But the Joker isn't even like in my humble opinion, he's not the greatest villain in fiction. So it's not as though they could never build something better than that. But I think as of right now in film, he's the most haunting figure.
Yeah, that was like lightning in the bottle.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, Heath Ledger,
All right. So what's your score, Beto?
I'm gonna be a little bit critiquey here for writing and dialogue. Albeit it is a great script, there is a little tad bit, just a tad, of exposition in the dialogue.
There is. I'll say
there's
that,
a tad bit exposition.
You know what? I think I might have to go 4.5 actually.
Yeah,
You're right. Because there's a couple of moments where he says something and the line is like really weird and awkward.
Yeah, there's one specific scene is when Lex Luthor and the I forgot her name now. The engineer.
Engineer.
Yeah. So they're now in the Fortress of Solitude, and Lex just there going saying, "Superman, he's not a man, he's an it." And he goes rambling on, ranting about how he hates Superman, and then the engineer says the most exposition,
unprompted.
It's already explained why the engineer is the engineer, but she goes ahead and says, "Yes, that's why I lose all my faith in humanity to help you." And I was like,
humanity. That's why I abandoned my humanity and put nanites in my blood. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, okay, we did not need that.
Oh, and also there's another great, I think the other one is when Supergirl, at the very end, when Supergirl shows up, and he's getting in the chair, and he's like, and like, you did not have to say all this. But he's like,
not.
Yes, because it's clear she's drunk, right? She's drunk, whatever. And he's like, she goes to planets with red suns because our metabolism won't let us get drunk under normal circumstances. And like, it's like, you don't. And I understand maybe for like normal audiences, but
Yeah.
I think we could just infer that she's drunk. You don't have to actually explain like the other part.
Yeah, you don't need to explain that she's drunk. She's visually telling you from her acting.
Yes.
So
yeah, you're right.
I think get drunk, Beto. How is that possible?
How's that possible?
I don't understand it.
Yeah, you're right. There's a couple
there's the normies.
There is a couple of like weird exposition lines that happen throughout the movie where I feel like somebody during some test screening, it was like, oh, audiences don't get it. So we have to like spell it out.
Yeah.
We have to spell it out literally for them, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you're right. I think 4.5.
Yeah, that's my only critique of a big portion of the movie is just the exposition dialogue.
All right, so we are on X Factor. What makes it unique? And It is both. I would say for me, it would be a. I'm gonna give it a 4 because it's unique in its commitment to sincerity. Right. It's actually, I would say, what it's doing. I would say its most unique thing is it's a comic book movie that's being like very sincere, right? But we've had comic book movies are very sincere, right? We used to make these, right? I would liken it to Spider-Man 2, actually.
Toby
It's very
Maguire, right?
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2, right? Very much in like that kind of vein. It's just that we stopped making them, right? Because everything became very referential or gritty or like sarcastic or kind of like the Marvel style where nobody takes anything seriously, right? It's like we lost those recipes, right? Um, so for me, Super 2025 is bringing back an old recipe that we had temporarily lost, and for what it is, that is unique. That is unique for right now in 2025, but like it has been done
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Like, I'd also give this a 4. A bit about what you said, but also I was stuck between 4 and a 4.5 because, like, I think because I was also kind of comparing this to other Superman films we have. I know in like recent times, the Superman films we've had, with the Snyderverse, and I had never seen Returns, uh, but
You're not missing much.
yeah, I heard. But the but like these this to me, this movie definitely has passed those in both how the character is portrayed and also the story as well. But if I were to compare it to like the original Superman, I'd probably still go with this, right? But like it's not so, like, vibe wise, I think it's not as so different from the first one. And plus, I think what knocks it down a bit for me, as much as I really like, I really love this movie. But if there's one thing I gotta say that they should have improved on, which I think one that Superman one does well, or even like Superman and Lois does well, uh, is they should have focused a bit more on Clark Kent better than Superman.
True, true.
Uh, there wasn't a whole lot we got with him, and I think not having Clark Kent have as much to do in this film is like having a Spider-Man film, but Peter Parker isn't on screen. I mean, we gotta see how he balances between the alter egos and see him in that more clumsy, timid role as Clark. Because most of the film, he is just Superman. He is the Superman. Uh, and that's why I would give it like a 4. I just think we could have
I
focused a bit
think
more
you
on
want to talk about the music a little bit.
Yes, the music. Music is great. Music is great. The soundtrack, they were cooking. I don't. Who was the composer for this? I those I Ludwig, but yeah, they were.
Junkie XL. That's a joke.
Yeah,
That's a joke. It was not Junkie XL. It was. Let me pull it up on my screen right here. I will find this out.
no worries.
John
Whoever.
Murphy and David Fleming.
All
David
right,
Fleming.
John Murphy,
Yes, John
David
Yeah,
Murphy
Fleming.
and David
Okay.
Fleming. Yes,
yeah.
they
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 cook.
yeah, they could, bruh. Like, I
I will.
swear,
I will play a small snippet of that glorious theme. It
yes, yes,
remixes both the old and the new.
yes.
But yeah.
Do you feel the hope? Do you feel that hope flowing through you?
Yeah,
Oh
that's crazy. That's crazy.
man.
That goes, like, bro.
He
I've been
nailed
listening
it.
to that for a minute now. Like, every time I'm feeling like down a bit, I just put that on. I'm just like, I too can be a hero.
I do.
Truly,
I
truly, truly.
too can be a. You got,
Your
but yeah,
turn.
it games. And not even just that. There's a Luther Corp theme. There's lots. Like, I really enjoyed the soundtrack of this. Loki Wonder Woman should bump it to 4.5, but I'll keep it as 4 for now. I'll keep it as 4 for now until final ratings.
All right, Beto.
I give this a huge 5. It is the new style, the way it's directed. Surprisingly, the cinematographer is the same as the Flash, which I didn't have. No, I have zero. I have hate for that movie, but the cinematography really changed, and it really sparked this. Just the way how the camera moves when Superman is flying, when he's just whatever is going on and throughout that whole action scenes, it sparks this new. I was like, wow, he actually the cinematographer actually had he had it in him, and it's and I found that a very beautiful film.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, have you seen these screenshots of the Flash that really show its great cinematography, Beto? Because that might change your
Oh
opinion.
Have you seen the movie Beta the Flash?
yes, I
Yeah, we
have.
saw it.
We
Yeah,
have seen
yeah.
the Flash.
It's
Did we
quite
see it
terrible.
together, or did we?
It's possible.
Probably.
Maybe.
I don't. I just had hate flowing through me.
Yeah.
We would have been chatting for a while. That movie had some stuff, man.
It had some. I would say the cinematography, like just how the camera during I think it was like the Batman. Michael Keaton's like trying to do his I don't know escape. Was that the escape scene or whatever was going on?
On the
That
prison,
looked yeah, whatever the direction and how the movement was, that was great. And then there was that one shot that looked like a video game just getting ready to during the final battle. I was like, oh no,
I'll
oh
say
goodness.
bonus points for this movie for bringing back 0 dead people.
No,
No
no
weird
resurrection.
ghosts.
You
Yeah,
did it.
Yeah,
No
You did
CG husks.
it. CGI Christopher Reeves.
yeah, none of that. They brought his actual son into the movie, so kudos for James Gunn on that.
Who did his son play?
He played a reporter.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty smart. I like that.
His son is actually an actual reporter, so that's a cool tidbit right there.
Oh snap! Wow, that's
Yeah,
What's up?
second
All right.
viewing needs to be done.
Great.
yeah.
What's
I've only
your
seen it
feeling?
once. So X Factor is. I like to kind of reiterate the point of this particular category. Things that make this film unique. Am I understanding that
Yes.
correctly?
Uniqueness and how well it excels at it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The color, bro. The color grading in this movie, that's kind of nitpicky. I haven't seen a superhero movie that looked like this in a long time. I'll be honest with you. I'm not even talking just DC. I'll even go Marvel. I hadn't seen a superhero movie with this color grading in a long time. It looked very good, which led into that art and design conversation we had. But I think the visuals behind the movie were really good. I like your point about no dead people, because in almost every Superman hero movie, Superman movie we've seen, I don't know, bro. What do they call it? Casualties of war. You know, what did they say in Paid in Full? Hit his die every day, B. Like, I mean, like we've gotten a lot of.
So yeah, we gotten so used to it.
It's desensitized. Like that's
Yeah.
like,
Where
it's
it
a
feels
thing.
like if something blows up, right? We're okay if we see a shot of like one of the Avengers helping someone out of the wreckage, right? We're like, wow, you did it. We're like it's we're like hey
Not
right?
considering the charred bodies that did not get evacuated
Yes,
by Captain
you know.
America. Yeah, I hear
But
you, bro.
this is very much like
Yeah, it's
the
different.
importance of like life,
Yeah, I
right? I
think
would say
that's
just
huge, bro.
yeah.
It's so funny reading the thing about the test audiences being like, we don't really like that squirrel scene, and like James Gunn watching it and being like, well, I took it out and I gotta put it back. Gotta put it back. It needs to be there.
They did take out a scene. I read they did take out a scene of Ultraman kicking Crypto or punching
Really?
Crypto.
Yes, that
Yeah,
That
there
it
was
did
some
not
scenes
test
like that.
well.
that needed to be done because there's an audience of people I won't say who, that would feel very strongly about any animal violence. Come on, bro. Come on,
Say
bro.
anything. I
If
didn't
you
say
put-
anything. I didn't say anything.
So for
Listen,
the people who are listening through this in their
bro.
cars
PETA
or walking their
exists.
dogs or anything,
Yeah, like bro, PETA exists. You know, they're really passionate about what they do. You know, people got PETA stickers on their bumpers. Certain people have PETA stickers on their bumpers.
so what's
Bro,
the
like
color of the cloud? That's the kind of people. Those are the people where.
you know, listen, bro. If you know, you know. That's all I'm saying on it.
What's the color of a snow?
I can't with you, man. We're
All
not doing
are
this. But my point is this. My point is this. It's really funny though. But my point is this. They did a phenomenal job of creating a character that feels so extremely strong about protecting life that he knocked the monster away from a building, checked in on the people behind him after, like, before knocking the monster back. When they're like, nah, we good, man, we fine. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get back to this work. And he knocks the monster back in the opposite. I was like, ooh, I like this. This is different. This is a Superman that we have not seen in film yet. I haven't seen this Superman in a film yet. A Superman that feels so strongly about protecting all life.
Well,
Animals.
I
and the
think
fact
that
that
was a
he
Donner. I think that was the original.
Hmm.
Not Donner. The director's Donner. I mean, the Christopher Reeves
Reeves
was
era.
was
So
yeah.
that's
Reeves ever was like that.
was like
You
that. So
know. I mean
admittedly,
that's where you get the classic like rescuing cats from
yes.
trees.
And I'll be candid. I love it. I love it. I love it. The scene where the dog's underneath him and he's like, yo, you gotta get out of here. Dog's just like, nah, I'm gonna bark right here. And he literally like ices the ground under the dog and like slides the dog to the tree. Like, get out! What are we doing? I was like,
yeah,
this is great, bro. This is phenomenal.
the fact that during that fight scene, oh sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you good, bro.
And the fact that during that fight scene, he's also like trying not to kill the monster as well. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
He
he's
was trying to save the monster's life. That's super valid. He wanted to protect even the things that were meant to harm him, which is an extreme view of protection of life, but it demonstrates how Superman feels. He's like, I'm strong enough that I can figure it out. Like I can
yes,
handle it. Like
yes.
even if the things meant to harm me are alive, I'm not worried because I got it under control. And I just felt like that was so cool. It was fun to see a hero that felt like that because I feel like I haven't seen that like Bate mentioned, we haven't seen that since Reeves. How many decades ago has that been, bro? Like as
I'd say I throw in like what we mentioned before. I'd throw in like Toby Maguire Spider
For
Man.
like a Superman.
okay, I'm
Was
speaking
like
specifically about Superman.
yeah, but
But
I'm
I
Superman.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man is also, but he's here. We are again. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's a character
Yes.
that's built his brand on just helping, being a neighborhood guy. Just wants to be helpful, right? Like if you play the games, you know about the cat Spider-Man. Like the same concept of like, yo, this is the bodega cat, bro. The bodega cat got a Spider-Man outfit on. Like we get to a point where this character is just such a normal person that cares so much about normal everyday people that he feels a strong sense of protection over these people. And that's really what Superman was given, although one could argue he is far stronger than the depiction of Spider-Man that we've seen in most media. Like Superman is next level, and he still feels the same way, right? He feels like I just want to protect people from my neighborhood. I want to protect people, and the Earth is my neighborhood, right? Not just this little location of Metropolis. The whole planet is my neighborhood because I was sent here to treat the planet like my neighborhood. Like that's what I believed my mission was. I think that X Factor was really cool. Another thing I'm adding in a bunch of X Factors. Art was my first one. Protection of Life was my second one. I think something I haven't seen a ton in film is them creating such a stark contrast between Superman's blood family and his chosen family. I feel like we've we've never seen such a dramatic difference between the two in film. At least I haven't. I haven't seen that in film before.
Yeah, they're usually like, at worst neutral, but like usually portrayed as like
Benevolent to
good.
neutral in that spectrum. We haven't seen them say dominate humankind. I've never seen that before. That was next level. When I saw that and they were like, "This was not Doctor. Like this is legit." I was like, "Uh oh, that's crazy." Like if that's how they genuinely felt when they sent him to Earth, they were like, "You're gonna become the king of this planet. They're all gonna worship you. They're gonna treat you like a god." He was like, "I don't want that. What are we talking about?" His pa, put his arm around him and said, "Listen, man, you get to choose who you want to be. You're not forced to fall in line with what your blood parents said you have to be." And it was beautiful. I love this scene at the end of the movie where you see the robots kind of come and say, "Oh, he likes to hear this message from his parents. Let's play it." And then it's the message. It's like the home video scenes with like him as a kid, and I was like,
That's so great.
"Man, y'all nailed it, man."
Yeah,
is
the
really
last
good.
song is punk rocker by like Iggy. Yeah,
I
it's so good.
it's
So
so
good.
good, man. Like I think the X factor for this film for me was a combination of those three things. The art, like I said, color grading was bright, beautiful, energetic. It felt like a Superman movie, right? I would say the chosen family versus born family element huge, and the protection of life element, something that we haven't seen in a Superman movie in a long time. I think those two really put it in a really high place for me. I'm going to give the X Factor a 5.
I mean,
So,
you're selling me. You're selling me. All right. So last but not least, we're gonna go into hype moments in Aura. I mean, that's an easy 5 for me. I mean,
Easy 5.
easy 5,
You got
bruh.
to name the hype moment though, bro. You can't just say that.
Okay.
Tell us
All
what it
right. All
was.
right.
Tell
All
us what
right.
it
So
was.
we even talked about a lot of like different fight stuff, but like one, I'm a highlight when Lex Luthor touches down in the Fortress of Solitude. Right. His fit
I
immaculate.
need that fit, bro.
Okay,
I need that.
he got Eve with him and her fur coat, and he's walking down, and they're like, "How are we gonna get in?" Right? Because like we can see the thing disappeared. He's like, "I got it." Right? Pops up, door opens. Right? And at that point, you don't actually know how he's doing, how he's pulling it off. Turns out Ultron was a clone, but he's doing that. He's walking in, and you get this great scene where like the engineer and the Ultraman are just destroying the robots, and Lex is just walking.
Yeah.
He just in like there's
So
like
cold.
action. There's like a blade going like
Yeah.
an inch from his head. He's not even phased. He's not even phased a little bit as he walks to the thing because again he's on his mission on that grind, and like if you want like is a perfect sell on Lex as a villain
Yeah.
like in that thing like
Yeah.
you're like yep no, this guy's cool. Like not only is he evil, not only is this he's cool.
yes.
And Lex, I think in movies has been a lot of things. He's never been cool
In
in
film.
a live action movie.
Yeah. That was the first depiction.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say that's my high moment. That's why one of the main reasons I'd give this a 5.
Favorite Lex in live action for sure.
For me, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like how you debate which one I want to break up between two, but like I gotta give the shout out to when all looks lost in I'm gonna keep calling this place Moravia, Moravia between like there's a kid with the flag and and everyone's calling for Superman, call for their hero to save the day, and someone appears, and that person is Guy Gardner, and he's like, "Sorry, kid, you got it upgrade."
So
Nah.
tough,
Yeah.
man. It's so tough, bro.
Yeah, man. And
Uh,
like, man, he is. Yeah.
Guy Gardner just saved the image of Green Lantern for all.
Sorry, Ryan Reynolds. Nothing personal here.
Sir.
Right.
We don't hate
Right.
you. Your depiction of Deadpool was smooth, but this Green Lantern's so much cooler than you, bro. I'm so sorry.
Oh man, like yeah, no, that was great. The Justice League, Justice Gang is is, helping everyone else too. Hawkgirl does kills the president.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Metamorpho's popping off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Metamorpho? The Element Man?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right. Yeah. The
Element
Element
Man,
Man.
right?
I'm sorry.
Oops.
And when all that's done at the end, where Metamorpho or Element Man is like, oh no, it's then where I think it was Hot Girl who said, "Oh, you thinking joining the Justice Gang?" And and then Hal's like, Gardner's like, "Oh yeah, no, we're not looking for any like new positions right now." And he's like, "Oh, Justice Gang, that sounds cool. You're in." That's great. That's great. Yeah,
That
no,
was good.
Also,
that whole scene is
guy potentially fumbling, losing Metamorpho. That's just like that would be like one of the worst, like trade fumbles of all time. Imagine, you lose Metamorpho, and then like Metamorpho ends up on like a different team, like the Outsiders, or the Justice Society, and you're like, dang man, I wish I got,
Yeah.
And you look at you look at the
Legendary
stats,
fumble.
like the greatest trade fumbles in superhero history. Guy Gardner dropping Metamorpho. Guy Gardner's watching the television, and Metamorpho is like making a son. He's like, wait,
he
can do that?
What can't he do? Actually. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's why I gotta give it a 5.
What's your hype moment, Beto?
Oh, my hype moment. Oh my gosh. I think the one that just, there's two in my head now. But the first one is when the pocket dimension is like splitting Metropolis already in half, and all the buildings are like domino effect, they're like just like falling like dominoes, and and as soon as one of them is about to crash onto a highway bridge, and everybody's running away, but this one lady's car is not turning on, and the last second, Superman is holding the building up, letting her get away in time, and he just lets the building crash, and just as soon as the dust clears, it's just him with the sun shining behind him and the lady looking back at him.
Bro.
The lady looking back at him with tears in her eyes, just happy to be alive. And Superman just looking at her, just like, I'm glad that she's alive. And I was just like, wow, that's a huge, that's a guess. That was a really great scene. And the other time when he's beating up Ultraman finally, and then when he just turns, oh my gosh, that was a really when he just, it's just that one
pop out.
Yeah, that 10-second scene of just him just looking down.
It's also great. I do like the visual of like Ultraman in the train, like in the train car, being like, no, as he gets thrown in. Please come back as Bizarro. Please.
From a dark hole.
We want Bizarro. The streets want
Bizarro. The streets want Bizarro.
That's how we gonna get him, bro. Let's see though. Let's see.
All right, Gray. What's your hype moment?
There's a lot of good ones in this movie. I think y'all have mentioned quite a few. Oh man, I feel like I'm just trying to think back. I feel like the scene where crypto is useful was a pretty big hype moment. And it's even further solidified by Lex Luthor shouting to Superman that brain beats brawn. Which is, ironically, it's one of the things about Lex that I love so much, is that he's so unapologetic about how he feels about superiority of intelligence over strength. And then he ends up in some depictions building a suit that would give him the strength to be on par with Superman in order to be like, now I've got it all. But I digress. Right after that scene, Superman kind of chuckles. He's like, you know what? Yeah, that's a thought. He calls his dog. He just whistles. Crypto shows up. He's like, fetch. Just like starts destroying. the pot, and while the cameras are getting destroyed, and his team's like scrambling, like, oh my god, another one went down, like Superman is absolutely walloping.
Yeah.
She's absolutely just like,
And that leads to
funny.
like, especially at the end when Superman finally gets back up to Lex, and
Yeah.
Lex, at this moment, Lex is so mad. He's so mad. He's so distraught. He's crying.
Yeah.
He's crying like at how
His
angry he is. He has feelings that he lost like this, because right before he tries to make a run for the portal for getting stopped. And the thing about it is, like, Superman is not even trying to do anything to him. He's just doing his big speech about why he's human and hope, and he's fuming, right? And he starts talking smack, and then he gets just torn up by Crypto.
Yeah. Crypto starts mollywopping him. Crypto started in the movie as an annoyance, in my opinion. And ended up as a hero in some respects. Came in handy. Came in handy for good old soups. I also did like the small. I know some people hated it. I did not hate his reference of like, he's alone. Like, he's not actually my dog. And they were like, he's not your dog. Like, whose dog is he? Like, what? What do you mean by that? And then we get like that end scene.
Yeah, the payoff was good.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, as a comic book reader, I was like, oh, now I get what the setup was, because I kind of read the comics. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I like it.
It's fine. Yeah.
Because since it's not his dog, it does make sense. Because like, think about how like straight-laced Superman is, and how like he's very like everything he's doing is very like by the book. Why is his dog not behaved? And it's like, it's not his dog. You're like, oh, well, whose dog is it? It's the drunkard's dog.
And it kind of puts a scene more into perspective when he barges into Lex's office, be like, "Where's the dog?"
Yeah,
It's like,
it's not his dog.
it's just like he's not. I mean, he is worried about Crypto, right? But I also believe he's worried about what would happen if Kara found out.
Yeah.
He's like, "You don't know what you're doing."
Please, it's just a dog.
It's just a dog, yeah.
Drunk Kara showing back up and finding out that Lex has kidnapped.
And Lex is not ready. Lex is not ready.
Bro,
He spent all this time for Superman. Lex will get whooped so bad by carrying like 2 seconds flat.
Yeah.
He has no counter.
Post that.
He has no defense, right? He thinks he does. He's getting cooked because he's like, Supergirl, and then like she just flies in and just like smashes him against the wall.
It's like, well, I thought you were Superman. No.
She will only ask once, "Where is my dog?"
I wasn't raised on Earth.
I thought that was a pretty high moment. The Crypto scenes with the drones, leading into Superman beating Ultraman. For me, that was a pretty high moment. It was a moment that made me feel like there's a reason this character's in the movie. Because for a little bit there, I was like, is the dog just here because it's a dog and they just wanted to have a dog in the movie? Like, I know Crypto from the animated series, but it didn't feel like he had a place per se, other than just a disruptor. So I'm happy that they built anticipation for the moment, and then the moment sold. I thought that was a good thing. Oh, Raider.
Damn dog, man.
Because the other moments in the movie I thought were also really good. Like, Crypto I thought was one of my favorites, but Lex was definitely that Lex scene I think was a top level aura moment. I thought him going up into the sun to relieve himself of the nanites, top level aura moment. Like, there's some really good aura moment. Mr. In the scene that I mentioned earlier, like in Lex's camp, with the music and everything, top level hype moment. I was freaking out. I feel like they just had so many, and they all felt really good to watch. I just can't give it anything other than a drum roll, please. No, I'm playing.
A 5?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5.
All right. Well, time to tally up your scores. and do the final calculation. I can tell you my number for the review is 4.7, which is pretty high.
This might be the highest one we got.
Yeah.
This might
Try. I can put a little. Well, once you tell me all your other scores.
I got a 4.85.
4.9 for me. 4.9 for Gray.
4.9 for Beto.
4.9. So, okay.
We got a new leader.
Let's get the.
We have a trouble.
The official Peak of Fiction rating for Superman 2025 is a 4.8.
Woo!
Well
Which
deserved.
I believe
Sir.
puts it above.
Shout out to Corenswet.
I'm doing the
Everyone, right?
rating. That is the highest rating that we've given so far.
Nice.
So
Well
so
deserved.
far our order, and this order may be a little Mickey Mouse, but what can you do? we will do a reassessment. Okay, I promise we'll do an end of the year reassessment. But currently we have the very top: Superman 2025, Godzilla -1, Marvel Civil War, Speed Racer, All Star Superman, and Iron Giant.
That ranking sounds pretty spot on to me.
I'd probably move up Iron Giant personally, but hey,
Well,
that's just me.
What are you putting it above Super?
He wants to put it above Speed Racer.
Speed Racer and All Star Superman.
He loves the fact that Speed Racer got so high.
I should have been harsher. That's the thing. I should have been. I'm like, you know what? It's his favorite film. Let me look at it through the eyes.
You gave him a pass because he likes it. Wow.
I'm like, let me look at it through the eyes.
The game was played.
A pass for liking
the game was played.
I gave a bit.
That's what it is.
It is what it is.
I would say this. Superman's well deserved, and I said it once before, and I'll say it again now. James Gunn has done the impossible. He made All Star Superman good. So
there it goes.
There it goes. Thank you guys for coming by.
Yeah, thank you for coming by. After much review, after defeating many pretenders to the throne, squashing the various rebellions in the House of DC, it's very clear James Gunn indeed has the mandate of heaven. His kingdom shall prosper for many years to come.